You have Christmas Eve, you have New Year's Eve, you have NFL Draft Eve. All right, no one's singing Auld Lang Syne, the ball's not going to drop. But this certainly could be a defining moment for the Mike Shanahan era. From Sammy Baugh in 1937 to Darrell Green in '83 and Brian Orakpo just 3 years ago, Redskins actually have good history with first-round picks and the state of Texas. We know the Colts are lucky. It looks like the Skins are going Griffin. That would be Robert Griffin III. The Baylor quarterback seems to have it all. He's got speed and smarts and talent and a Heisman Trophy. But as we found out in the Lone Star State, that's just the beginning of the resume.
Before this was this. The building blocks. The building. It could be Destination DC. But this is where the journey started. Welcome to Coppers Cove, Texas.
You're looking for a program changer, a team changer, a community changer. He can do that because that quarterback is like the coach on the field. But he also is a person that gives you hope. You have to have hope from that person. This guy here might be the next president. You never know.
75 miles north of Austin, he burst onto the scene as a track star, breaking state records in the 110 and 300 hurdles. Then as a junior, he took off on the gridiron.
Coppers Cove High School, where he grew up, is a program that had never been at the level that he took it to his 2 years of being the quarterback. Played for the state title 2 years in a row.
And Jack Welch would know, after nearly 20 years on the job at the Cove, he's turned it into a state power, sending his share to the next level. And yes, if you're wondering, that is the high school weight room.
A lot of times we can draw things up on paper that looks real good, but we can't get it operated. And Robert Griffin can operate it. He's got the speed, he's got the athleticism, and most importantly, he has the intelligence.
Every good high school football recruiting story in Texas has a twist. In early 2007, Griffin committed to the University of Houston and head coach Art Briles. But by the end of the year, Briles was on his way to Baylor to take the head job there. And now it was decision time for Griffin. Stay with Houston or join his coach in Waco. He chose the coach. Fans here in Waco may not have known it that day, but the football gods had just smiled on Baylor University.
They're still smiling, and that's a good thing.
Early on, Briles knew he was sitting on a lottery ticket, and now it's the Redskins' turn to cash in.
Redskins fans have been waiting for a long time for a franchise guy to come and take the program back to where they want it. Is he the guy?
I think they certainly believe that, and they've got great common sense because he is the guy. You know, he is a great ambassador, and what you see is what you get. You know, it's not a facade, it's not a front. You know, it's all real. And the thing I've always said about Robert, that closet room is open and the lights on. You know, there's nothing hidden back there.
Griffin steps back in the shotgun, empty backfield again. 15 seconds to go. Griffin steps up, slides to the left side. He's throwing for the end zone. Touchdown! Oh, it's gone! Oh my
Touchdown Baylor. Robert Griffin III.
The athletic ability jumps off the screen, but it was a moment in 11th grade, away from the field, when Briles knew Robert Griffin III was special.
A bunch of it was his parents. Actually, when he came to a camp in Houston, his mother and his sister came down, and we went through a 2.5-hour camp, and then I took Robert up into the coach's office, and we watched tape for about an hour and a half, and his mother's sitting right there. I was impressed that first of all, that he was that dedicated as a junior in high school. That told me right there he had a great background, he had great support. And then through the process of recruiting him, it just got stronger and stronger. His parents are very supportive people.
They're just a very close-knit family, and they understand values. That, I think, is more than anything about Robert Griffin that Washington will see.
And he wouldn't be the first Coppers Cove connection for the Redskins. Offensive line assistant Chris Morgan also worked for Welch.
Now, if Robert goes there, it's an automatic. I'll have a place to stay. Somebody's got to feed me.
What are you having for dinner?
Well, if Robert's the one buying, it's going to be steak, and it's going to be a big old steak.
Some mistake the confidence as aloof or cockiness, and he'll need to learn to read the pro-style defense. He's known for colorful socks, and his teammates say his sense of humor can be wacky.
Let's see, how can I explain Rob? Rob is unique.
Goofball.
He's a jokester.
You will catch him giggling all the time about anything.
But he'll stay the same.
Call him Rob.
RG3 Stripes.
I call him Robert.
Rob,
Robbie,
G3, Griff.
never RG3.
In Texas, these exports are risky business. This one is looking solid. And if you're into signs, there's always the cross street of 10,000-seat Copperas Cove High School Stadium, the quarterback of this era, and a Redskin signal caller steeped in history, welcoming in the next generation. From Robert Griffin III to RG3 and back home again.
Alrighty, we shall see. By the way, parents Jacqueline and Robert are retired U.S. Army sergeants, so there was obviously military discipline in the family. But over and over again, I was told that the military thing is one thing, but it's the fact that mom and dad were simply involved.